Hello, welcome to Mindset Monday inside the Alignment Tribe. I'm Christine Kolzing. I am your master mindset expert, master success coach. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a superconscious healer. Ooh, what does that mean? I think we should dive into the superconscious a little bit more. It's something I realize that we use so much inside our program, but that I haven't been talking about as much outside in the rest of the world. So the superconscious is something we're going to be talking a lot more about coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned. You're going to want to know what your superconscious is. You already have it. There's nothing that you need to do to get it. But once you connect into it, anything is possible. It is a truly remarkable, amazing, magical aspect of you. And we're going to dive a lot more into the superconscious and how you can use it to develop more trust, be more decisive, and truly create the life and the business that you want. So tune in next week. I believe that's when we'll be talking more about it in Mindset Monday. But just stay tuned, just stay connected in. Hey, so happy that you're here. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. All right, and today we are talking about comparison. We're going to talk about comparison in a couple of different ways, and what I want you to do is stay tuned through the Mindset Monday to find out the one comparison that's probably keeping you the most stuck, because it's not the comparison that you are thinking that it is. Because there's comparisons that we're used to, comparisons that we're very familiar with, and then there's the one comparison that we don't always acknowledge, that we're not always talking about. And it's the one comparison that creates the most disempowerment for you. So let's start with the comparisons that you do know, right? These are probably going to feel pretty easy. Yeah, I get it. I've been there, done that. That's a comparison I can really relate to. The first is what I call, or what's known as up comparison, where we look at someone who has more success, has more clients, has more influence, has more health, has a better relationship. Like, we look at someone who has something that we want, and we compare up. We compare what they have, who they are, what they're experiencing, to where we are and what we're experiencing. Does this one feel familiar? This is probably the most familiar. And what often happens in this up comparison is that between the two, we end up being the ones who feel like not enough. Not enough money coming in, right? I'm at 6K, but I want to be at multiple 6K. Or I'm at 6K, but I want to be at 7 figures. Or I'm starting out and I want to hit that 10K. Or I want that body. I want the 6-pack abs. Or I've been looking for a relationship and I want that, twin flame. I want the person that really, lights me up and creates that special spiritual spark. Right? And we see what people have in their lives and we compare, and we always, when we do this, and please correct me if you're not doing it this way, but we look to see what people have that we want, or who they're being the way we want to be. And we look at ourselves and say, it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. My business isn't good enough. My health isn't good enough. My relationships aren't good enough. I'm not good enough. And we make the comparison. We compare up, and then we make it mean something about us. We look at where they are compared to where we are, and really it's data, right? Someone who has a multiple 6-figure business compared to someone who has a 6-figure business, it's just numbers. Right? It's just data. But what we do that really harms us in that up comparison is we make it mean something about us. I must not be good enough. I must not be meant for this. I must not be smart enough. I must not be outgoing enough. Like, we make it mean something personal about us? Have you ever compared yourself to someone and that was the conclusion that you came to? That it must be something about you. It's natural. That, I think, is the way that most of us compare. And most of us, instead of simply comparing the data, we look at the data and we make it mean something personal about us. The moment we do that, we have given our power away. We have disempowered ourselves from the objectivity of looking at the data. And then we lose the ability to use that data to our advantage, right? So we see someone who's got this multiple six-figure business, right? And what we could do in looking at that and comparing to where we are is ask ourselves some more empowering questions. What is it they're doing that's working for them? Where did they learn the skills that they're implementing? How focused are they on one thing, right? We can start to look at what they're doing as data rather than using it to create personal meaning about us. So that's where up comparison, that's the one you're most familiar with. And the reason that it's the most detrimental in those moments is that you're making it personal. Making sense so far? Rather than looking at it as data, you've made it mean something personal about you. The next kind of comparison is the down comparison. We look at someone who is worse off. Right? Maybe someone, especially in this pandemic, maybe someone who's lost their job or is struggling with a health issue, or their business was doing really well and now they've hit a slump. And we say, well, at least, I should be grateful for what I've got because at least it's not as bad as them. And while that feels like a comparison that has some empathy to it, and it probably does, you're still comparing. You're still comparing your situation to their situation. And whenever we're doing that, we're not honoring where we are. Because in the grand scheme of things, where they are in comparison to you means nothing for you and your future success. Especially when we look at someone maybe who's going through a challenging experience, who is feeling the effects of, a slump in their business, or their career has changed or something like that. The moment when we say, well, I should be grateful for what I have because it could be worse, we're immediately discounting what it is that we have. We're actually, throwing away the gratitude for what we have. You being grateful for what you have, for where you are, for owning where you are in your business and your life, for the clients that you're attracting, for the money that you're making, for the health and vitality you're creating, for the relationships that you're growing. The moment that you say, well, it could be worse, you are discounting how great it is for you. And it's okay to feel great about where you are, even if other people are struggling with where they are. It doesn't help others for you to discount where you are or to compare to where they are. They are going through their own specific journey in life, right? There are lessons that they are learning. There are things that that are causing them to grow. There are choices that they are making. And when we aren't honoring that is their experience, we're not honoring our own experience. When you discount, I love this, when you discount what's going well for you because you're relating it to someone else, it doesn't help you to feel more grateful or appreciative or joyful of where you are, and it doesn't change their situation at all. That other person isn't being uplifted by you discounting where you are. In fact, the opposite is happening. The more that you are in tune with what you're creating, when you're feeling those creations with joy and gratitude, when you're owning where you are, when you're loving the life that you're creating and creating a life that you love, there's an energetic ripple effect that raises the consciousness, our collective consciousness, that allows others to step up as well, right? It's all about you coming up, feeling grateful, feeling in that energetic vibration. And as you do, you open up space for others to feel the same. Okay, so we've got the up comparison. We think someone is doing better, and we look at ourselves and make that mean something personal. We've got the down comparison, where we discount how well things are going for us comparative to someone else's experience. The third kind of comparison, and these, a lot of these like overlap. The third kind of comparison is, how you feel on the inside compared to what they're showing on the outside. And it's not comparing apples to apples, right? How you're feeling on the inside about your life, your business, your success, wealth, abundance, compared to what you're seeing on the outside that others are experiencing. There's really no comparison. It's not comparing apples to apples. How you're feeling about your own life situation is unique to you. How that person is expressing their life situation is unique to them. But we fall into this trap all the time of comparing what we see on the outside for others and how we feel on the inside about ourselves. So if you find that you're falling into that comparison trap, I think the easiest and fastest way out of that one is to shut off the social media for a little while. Get grateful and in tune to the life that you're living, to what you do have here. Really tune into the outcomes that you're creating, who you're being at cause for your thoughts, your feelings. Tune into yourself, bring it in, really explore that inner world so that when you come back to the outer world, you're coming from a place of steady, strong, grounded in your own truth, in your own knowing, in who you are on the inside. And then you can look at others' outsides instead of comparing or feeling, jealous or envious or any of those things. You can see what's happening for others and be happy for them, right? Be joyful for them, be celebrating with them. Because as you express those emotions truly from the inside, I'm happy for their success, I'm celebrating with them, you will find that, again, you are contributing to the collective consciousness, you are up-leveling your energy, and, thank you, and you're giving others permission to do the same for you, right? This is part of the law of cause and effect. Everything has a cause and an effect. And the more that you are causing joy, gratitude, high energy, love, appreciation, the more that you're causing these higher vibrations, the effect of that coming back to you is not just a one-to-one. It's like a tenfold effect, right? The more that you are truly joyful for others, that joy will come back to you tenfold. So if you find yourself comparing your insides to others' outsides, shut off the social and tune into you. Tune in with your higher self, with the superconscious field, with all that you know is true for you as a spiritual being. And from that grounded, centered, aligned place, come back into the world with a joyful, grateful, celebratory heart. So those are the three most familiar places where we see comparison, right? Up comparison, down comparison, comparing your insides to their outsides. Are you ready to find out the fourth? The one that's probably keeping you even more stuck, simply because, not because it's the hardest one to work through, but simply because it's probably the one you're the least aware of. And this is comparing where you are to where you think you should be. Comparing where you are to where you think you should be. How many of you have fallen into this trap? This one for me is probably the most significant. I am an Enneagram 3. I am a very driven, goal-oriented, action-taking person. I have huge dreams and visions for my life. And I've had these dreams and visions for my life, for the impact that I want to make. And the way I'm making that impact has changed several times throughout the course of my life. But I've always had, since I was a kid, I've had a vision that my life was going to positively impact others. And I've done it through a number of different ways. But the thing that has kept me stuck in the past was thinking I should be further in that journey than I already am. And a lot of that stems from the fact that I have the disease of alcoholism, and that I spent a good part, well, let's say all of my 20s drinking, using drugs, partying. I actually owned a business for a while during my 20s for about 4 years, from 24 to 28. I had a coffee house and juice bar. I was a very, as they say, what's that phrase? When you're an alcoholic, but you still on the outside look like you have your shit together. That's what I look like. On the outside, it looked like I had my shit together. I was getting married. I lived in a nice house on the beach. This was in Florida. I owned this great business that everyone in town loved. On the inside, I was a mess, but I put on a good front because 3 is like a good image, or at least I thought I was putting on a good front. I don't know. Some people might tell you different. But I got sober at 30, or at 29, just before I turned 30. And functioning alcoholic, thank you. Just before I turned 30, I got sober, and it was basically like I was still reacting to life like a 17-year-old. They say that the moment that you start drinking alcoholically is the moment you stop maturing, and I was about 17 when that became a part of my life. And so at 29 years old, I was still kind of handling life like a 17-year-old. I was divorced. I'd sold my business. I was just getting sober. I was broke as a joke. I had no friends. My family lived 1,000 miles away. Like, I really started life over at 30 with nothing. Like, really, truly nothing. And so as I was exploring, I was doing the inner work. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to take my career and my life. I spent some time, I had to work through a lot of stuff in those first few years. And eventually I came to Cincinnati. I started teaching Pilates. I eventually opened a studio. I eventually started an online health and wellness business. And now I have the Alignment Tribe. It's been an evolution, right? And in so many of those steps along the way, I would stop my own self by saying things like, I should be further than I am, right? I should be making more money than I am. My business should be more successful than it is. I should be doing this because of my age. I kept thinking I should be further, right? And then I see people younger than me who are crushing it in life and in business. And I think, well, you know, look how young they are, and I've wasted all this time. And this idea that I somehow should have been somewhere other than exactly where I was just an endless source of frustration for me. I know you can relate. For those of you who have big dreams, big visions, you have goals, you have things you want to achieve in your life, whether that's your business, your career, your health, relationships, you have these visions for your life. And when you're not there, you get into this state of, I should be there. I should be further. And that is the number one comparison that is keeping you from enjoying the life you have today and being in the vibrational, energetic, and mindset state that's going to take you to the next level. Because everything that you've experienced in your life up until now has a benefit for you. Every thought, every experience, every story, every path that you took has brought you to this moment right now, right here, listening to me. And if you're here listening to me, it means that you're ready for more, that you're open to exploring your mind and how it works, that you know that you're meant for even more in your life. And without all those experiences, you wouldn't be here now with that desire in your heart. And if that desire in your heart takes another day before it manifests, great. If it takes another month, great. If it takes another year, great. Is it ever going to be the case for you that that vision isn't going to manifest? It's going to, as long as you stay committed to the inner work, to your higher self, and committed to your vision. You're right where you're supposed to be. You always are. If you were supposed to be somewhere else, you'd be there. But here's the cool thing about doing the inner work is you can short circuit the time. Thinking that it's going to take more time for you to get where you want to be is simply an illusion. It's a limiting belief. It's a construct. It's not going to take any more time than you believe that it will. So how do you short circuit that? Well, that's something that we do inside Align and Design Your Life. We teach you how to short circuit the time that it takes for you to manifest what it is that you want. We teach you how to step into those outcomes and be the powerful creator of your life so that you move to those outcomes more quickly. And you're letting go of this judgment that it should be any different than it is. You're letting go of the limiting beliefs that have been keeping you from taking the action. You're letting go of those past experiences and the emotions, and you're embracing that you are the powerful creator of your life. You might not have known that before. You might have been an unconscious choice maker up until now. A lot of comparing that we do is happening on that unconscious level, right? But with more awareness, you become the conscious choice maker, the conscious creator of your life. So learning how to recognize when you're comparing, when you're up comparing to others and making it mean something personal about you, when you're down comparing to others and you're discounting the life you have right now, you're comparing how you're feeling on the inside to what others are expressing on the outside, and you're losing your center and your groundedness, or you're comparing where you think you should be to where you are. In every one of these comparisons, you're putting yourself in a position of disempowerment. So let's move you to a place where you are powerful, where you are the powerful creator of your life. It's more simple than you think. And we teach you how to do it inside Align and Design Your Life. So if this Mindset Monday was helpful for you, how many of you saw ways that you're comparing that might be keeping you stuck? And tell me in the comments which one of those comparisons has the most hold on you and which one you're committed to creating more awareness around. Which one are you committed to? Once you shine the light, right? It's all about awareness. Shine the light, it's going to dissipate. Now, of course, there's more that we do that makes that happen faster, easier, and more effectively. But awareness is the first step. So which of those, A, will you become more aware of? And B, which one are you willing, through awareness, to let go of? And for those of you who are ready to take it to the next level, doors are open this month for 5 new spots inside Align and Design Your Life. In order to apply, go to thealignmenttribe.com/life and pick any one of the Apply Now buttons on that page and apply. You'll book a free alignment session with me, and I will help you to create the clarity that you need to stop the comparing and to start moving forward no matter where you are or where you think you should be. All right, so we have people committed to the where I should be as the comparison they'll be more aware of. Let's see, I'm reading my comments here. The fourth one, comparing where I should be to where I am now, definitely the fourth one, comparing myself to where I should be. And yes, another vote for letting go of comparing myself to where I think I should be. Yep. Awesome. Cool. Let us know in the comments. This community is here for you. We are here to help you to release the things that have been holding you back so that you can really take your life and your business to the next level. And not just on that financial level, taking your business to the next financial level, but as you're growing your business, creating that balance in your life, creating a life that you love, creating a business that you love. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so happy that you're here, and I look forward to sharing more with you about the superconscious, the collective consciousness, and how we're going to tap into that to help you create a life you love. Again, for more information and to apply for one of the spots we have open in this month, then go to thealignmenttribe.com/life, click on any of the buttons to apply, and connect with me. All right, thank you so much. Love you. Hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.